module for academic training. Reading format, 40 questions, 60 minutes time, 1 mark each, no negative marking. So in total there are 40 questions to be attempted in 60 minutes time, 1 mark each. Challenges in reading section, time and accuracy. Why time? Because you have to attempt 40 questions in 60 minutes, for which you have to read around 2500 words, okay, and that too have to come out with accurate answers in this much short time. So it's actually challenging. It is like a vocabulary test, so awareness must be there for paraphrasing and synonyms, okay. So the point is that you must have a good collection of vocabs. Next is that don't expect to understand every word of the passage. Don't get nervous. Some questions will be confusing or tough, so don't spend much time on those questions. All answers must be written in capitals or uppercase in paper-based test. Sequence of questions always coincides with the order of the informations given in the text. That means the question of the sequence and the answers given in the text are in sequence. Mind the spelling of the words as it is. Tips to follow for reading practice. It is highly important to read a lot when you prepare for the test. It will help you improve your reading speed. So for increasing the reading speed, you must read a lot. Moreover, reading should be very helpful in expanding your vocabulary. Another point is that vocabulary. However, what you should read, we will see in coming slides. Do not read anything and everything. It should be a very strategically planned reading. You can read anything, but make sure you read it in English. It would recommend to choose something that you are interested in. This way it will be easier for you to read every day. So one topic which is interesting, that definitely you will read that topic thoroughly and as well as fast. Set a timer for reading practice for the passage. So timer is very important, like phone timer, and practice fast reading along with annotation. So what is annotations? We will see in the coming slides. Next is academic reading. 3 sections are there with long passage in each. So in academic reading there are 3 sections, okay, and in each section there is a passage. Passages are of academic nature. They often deal with global issues such as environment, science, history and nature. There are about 10 to 14 questions for each text, and you have 60 minutes time to answer. So 10 to 14 questions in each passage, and total you get 60 minutes time. So for example, 3 sections is there, so 3 passages. So time management, approximately 20 minutes for each passage. Okay, next comes task type. Task type means types of questions which you will be asked. So question types are MCQ. Second, identifying informations, that is true, false, not given type. Third is identifying writer's claim or opinion, that is yes, no or not given. So it is either true and false or it is yes, no. Then comes matching information, features and headings. Completion types, sentence completions, summary, note, flowchart, table, diagram or short answers. So these are the different types of questions that can be asked, or it can be in combinations, okay. So in 3 sections, so different combinations are there. Now come to the band scores for academic categories. Band score means according to the marks, what is the score you get. So if you are getting correct answers 39 to 40 out of 40 questions, band score is 9. 37 to 38, 8.5. So 0.5 difference comes out, okay. So you need to see what is your qualifying band you require to qualify for your IELTS exams. Okay, just ignore this. Next comes pick up scores of text of passage. Okay, now suppose pick up source of text of passages, that means from where you will read it. Okay, so journals, Journals, these are the topics which we must cover: environmental perspective, socio-cultural perspective, health and educations, historical perspectives. Articles, website, okay, these are the websites of the magazines: Times, New Scientist, The Economist, National Geography, and the History Today and Wired. Okay, so in different source you will see topics related to different things. For example, in Times, this American publication covers all the latest events in the USA and the world. New Scientist, the latest news and discussions from any field of science. The Economist, it is new magazines publishing events from the spheres of economy, politics, and international relations, finance. National Geography, it is a magazine about surrounding world related to articles about nature, travel, adventure, and scientific ways. The history Today, this British edition allows you to plunge into the history and look at some events. Wired, a magazine about computer technologies and their impact on the modern science. So these are the articles, published, websites, and you must pick up any of these sources. Now coming to the reading tactics, that is reading strategies, what should be the one? Usually we read things by skimming, that is we quickly move our eyeballs. This is called the speed reading. For example, when we read the newspapers or any articles on the screen, okay, we do skimming, that is we don't focus on every word, but we understand the meaning because we are quite used to the English. When you skim read the text, you don't want to understand the text completely, you read to get the main idea. It is not necessary to read every word and sentence in skimming. You may read the title, the first sentence of the paragraph, few lines in between, and the last sentence of the paragraphs. Usually it is enough to understand the main idea. So this is one reading technique which we follow. However, for IELTS exams, this is not advisable. Why so? Because skimming or speed reading will not help you to come to the exact answer, especially when the time is very short, 60 minutes. Okay, so because it gives you the main idea, however it will not help you to locate the exact answer to the question. So this reading strategies you will not follow. In scanning, what you do, the next reading method is scanning. Again, here you don't have to read every word and phrase. You scan this text in order to find the informations you read. Example, some members' names and dates. But before scanning the text, you must read the questions properly to be well aware of the informations you will need to find. So scanning do help, that is you find the correct answers, but again it also involves lot of time. So this is also not advisable always. Okay, scanning helps in sometimes only, but not always. Now the third technique is this technique, detailed reading. This technique means you read the text carefully in order to understand every detail using annotation, but you need not need this method for all question types in the reading section. This method is very useful for such questions as true, false, not given, or yes or no. So from this you understand you need to adopt a combination of mainly scanning and annotation techniques. Okay, now what is annotation? Let's understand this. Annotation, marking the keyword in the passage and question statements, that is visualization process. That means while you read the sentence, you mark the keywords. That too, you mark the keywords which is there in the question. So first you need to understand the questions. You have to remember the keywords of the question and accordingly mark the keywords in while you read the text. So while reading, you have to quickly read like skimming, but you have to stop when the keywords is there and mark it, that is annotation. Order of priority of keywords in the question statement should be noticed. Okay, and following rules must be followed, like for nouns, square bracket; for numbers, circles; for trends, opinion, facts, underlines. So how do we practice annotations? I will show you in one passage in the following slide. So here we will see one annotation example. So this is a passage, flying tortoise. Let's understand it. Now see, before I read this passage, the annotation, it is done in the second part. Now how you will mark the keywords, that has been shown over here. Okay, so before we go to the passage, let's understand what is the question given here. Here it is fill in the blanks type of questions. So the first questions, you have to mark the keywords in each question. Okay, so the question given, it is that answer the questions based on the passage above. The island in the discussion has major cacti cover with barren lands and has total of dash volcanoes. So here the key word is volcano. Okay, an island in the discussion has major cacti cover. So this is also one keyword. But since you have to find total of volcanoes, so the only thing, major cacti you will remember, but the volcano is the main keyword. Okay. Next, come to the next part, the next question. Part of the island with thick vegetation is around. Okay, so here the keyword is thick vegetations. So in this way, in each question you have to find the keyword. There are around dash subspecies of the tortoise. So what is the keyword over here? Subspecies. Fourth question, a tortoise breeding center is established close to the town of dash on the island to help restore the falling population of Galapagos giant tortoise. So what is the keyword here? Main keyword. A tortoise breeding center is established close to the town of dash. So here the main keyword is town. Okay, on the island to help restore the falling population of Galapagos giant tortoise. So it is also falling population. This is also one keyword, but however you have to look for the town here. So if you mark the 4 keywords in 4 questions, so obviously while you are marking the keywords in the passage, it becomes easier because you know you have to find the 4 answers. So even if you mark many keywords, but you have to mainly find 4 words. Okay, so did you understand how the marking of the marking or annotation goes off? Okay, so let's first understand the passage. An airborne reintroduction program has helped the conservationists take significant steps to protect the endangered Galapagos tortoise. Forests of spiny cacti cover much of the uneven lava plains that separate the interior of the Galapagos island of Isabelle from the Pacific Ocean. With its 5 distinct volcanoes, the island resembles a lunar landscape. Only the thick vegetations at the outskirts of the often cloud-covered peak of Sierra Negre offers respite from the barren terrain below. Now see how this first paragraph has been marked. So here in the first paragraph, forest of spiny cacti, okay, that has been marked, cover much of the uneven lava plains that separate the interior of the Galapagos island of Isabelle from the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so the another keyword marked is Isabelle, island of Isabelle. Though this is not important, but it is marked because so as to remember what is we are talking in this paragraph, and it is marked with a square bracket. As I told, when it comes to the noun, you have to mark it with a square bracket. With its 5 distinct volcanoes, 5 is the number or digit, so circle. The island resembles a lunar landscape. Only the thick vegetation at the outskirts of often cloud-covered peak of Sierra Negre offers respite from the barren terrain below. So in this way, even you can find that lunar landscape and the Sierra Negre. So these are the new nouns or the name, so it has been marked. It is not necessary that all the marked keywords has to resemble with the answers, but at least you will remember it. Okay, now you have to see it has a total of dash volcanoes. Okay, so do we get this answer in this paragraph? Is it? No, we don't get the in this paragraph. So that means here in this paragraph, though we have marked, but there is no answer. Okay, so then You don't have to focus much on this paragraph. Come to the next paragraph. Okay, now however, when the questions are given, the questions here we see only 4. However, there can be, as I told, in each paragraph passage there will be 10 to 14 questions. So fill in the blanks may cover answers suppose from the second paragraph, but the questions of suppose 5 to 10 may come from the first paragraph, which may be of matching types or which may be of MCQ types. So that's the reason that you have to also mark the first paragraph, the important keywords, so that you can attempt the remaining questions. I hope so you got this point.